So this is how it finished off. A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill. Here it comes.
Before they could react,
Yeah.
it encased them in ice. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene.
We're not having that, are we, guys? We are not having that.
In a silent treehouse turned statuary, in a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time.
I'm not having that. I'm not accepting that as the ending.
End.
No, not.
No, that can't be the ending.
It cannot be.
It
No,
simply can't.
no.
I won't accept it.
And neither
I
shall
hope
I.
You won't either. There are more endings, more possibilities.
Dun, dun, dun. I can feel it too.
We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
I think so. You see these charms on the right of the screen? Rumble has a tick next to it, so we've exhausted that one. Yet break does not, so we can change the outcome there with a break. We've got two possible changes here. We can fight or flight, or rumble and break. So let's go over to here and change that from fight to flight and see what happens. Right, so we've got the clipboards at the bottom of the treehouse, and old Mr. Kerr, the hyena that I'm convinced wants to eat the children of this town. And we chose fight last time and used the MCDC to do something that he was not impressed with, and he walked off. But this time we're going to go with flight. We're going to fly away. How? I don't know. We're going to run. But we're going to run. That's what we're going to do.
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left.
Run.
Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr! We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Oh, he's getting cocky now, is Luca? Ah, fine. We know where that leads them. But Luca and Iggy have escaped.
Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice.
Why is there ice in this? What is the connection? What is happening with the ice? I still have so many questions.
Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs.
Chilly.
Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
It's a good job Iggy has a suitable coat on, and Luca's wearing a jumper because it looks a little bit chilly. That was actually pretty badass. I think we lost them. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Find a way home. Come on then. This way? Ooh. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
Yeah, we've got to find Rolo. Is he missing now? I can't remember because we've gone back and forth. Rolo was missing, Rolo was found, Rolo was never missing because of the different stories. So are we in the storyline where Rolo is missing? I think we are, because that's why we were at the treehouse, where he told us not to go to the treehouse, but the not bit got lost. So we thought he said, go to the treehouse. I think this is the scenario where Rolo is actually missing. It's that bozo, Kerr. Oh, is it? I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods. So if he's got a walkie-talkie now, does that mean he's found Rolo?
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude. It is Kerr. Oh no, what's happened to Rolo?
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? See, I told you! Told you! This hyena, from the very moment his face appeared on our screens, I told you he was sus. I never had the honour of meeting your father, but your mum sure was a handful, and we remember the mother is missing.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
I know where I'd like to shove the walkie-talkie, and it's not Luca's pocket. We've got to keep moving. Can't go that way. Look, you can see their footprints through the snow. I love that. No, I didn't want to go back that way. I want to go this way. Can't go that way. Oh, all right. We've got to go back this way. So be it. Down we go. Oh, no! Yellow men! Bad. Bad. What's the readout? Sitting above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Kerr? Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What are they up to? What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters under there. What town could this even be? I'm gonna guess it's Beacon Pines. There couldn't be another town this deep into Weepwood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I could do. What's he gonna do? Shovel it? We're gonna throw snowballs. See? Welcome to Beacon Pines.
At the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. You're not wrong. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where did all this snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. Pretty big difference between sweater weather and Arctic hellscape. Not wrong. The puddle we fought at before. It's cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source. Think it's related? What the hell is going on? I have asked myself that question multiple times while I've been playing this game. We're going to get you some answers. Let's keep moving. And this is Perennial Harvest.
Footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. This town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. Why isn't Iggy Mr. Doom and Gloom? We don't know that. You can't just quit. What's he going to do? Where are you going to go, Iggy? Do whatever you want. He's going to sit there and sulk. I'm done. Iggy, it's going to be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry.
Oh, don't cry,
Seeing
Iggy.
Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion and more than a little guilt.
It is getting pretty late. I think probably not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Or actually be outside in the dark. and it's so cold. Let's just rest for a bit. Find a building to rest in, possibly?
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over. It's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologising. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. The second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
He motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into
He
fights?
shrugged.
It's something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored. Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Rolo are always having a blast together, laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
He wept openly.
It's jealous. Perfect little Luca Van Horn with his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Everybody in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even unpacked yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
He cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Ah, it must be raining out here. Definitely.
He arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow, we'll get to the bottom of all of this.
His eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
They're gonna end up frozen, aren't they? Please don't be frozen. Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What did you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what? Yeah?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
Aw, they're cuddling up together. How lovely. When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
House smelled of warm bread. Looked up to see his parents on the couch.
We're having another one of those funky dreams, aren't we?
His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams. Still clad in a yellow hazmat suit. Still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. Grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
Okay. And what is stating the obvious? It's stating the obvious.
I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this.
What's Sharper Valentine up to?
Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs.
Uh-oh.
Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
Is this the last time Lucas saw his dad?
With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
Never to be seen again.
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me!
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep, minding our own business. You're the one running around knocking on people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me?
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted. Scarfy-necked. Verbal. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? You must call me something. You can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You're going to help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. All right, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
He turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Got a bit of a short fuse, hasn't he, Iggy? Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
I'm here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood, or we teleported to some alternate universe, or this is just some cruel experiment by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. You're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight, so be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Oh, what, there's 2 Beacon Pines? Well, how come people didn't realise that they'd moved? Is that what they're saying? You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair, but a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You'd need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labour power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. The clipboards! Mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to the miraculous thing we call a brain. It has a real aversion to discontinuity, a revulsion even. Brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane. Lucy and Iggy looked around uncomfortably. So you're saying that someone made an entire new town and moved us all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover...
He lowered his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. If this really is home...
He sprinted off into the pale distance.
It's not a wise thing to do.
Iggy turned to follow. Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simple head west through Weep Wood. Well, that's all rather weird, isn't it?
This is where I'm ending today's video. Thanks for watching. Hit like while you're here, pop me a comment down below, and sub if you've yet to do so. Check out my other videos. There will be something there that you enjoy. Until next time, ciao for now.